English podcast.
From Learn English with Joy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Learn English with Joy. I'm Chris, and I'm so excited you're here with us today. You know, this is the place where we believe learning English should never feel boring. We learn while having fun, and we have fun while learning. That's our promise to you.
Absolutely, Chris. Hi, everyone. I'm Emily, and today we have something really exciting for you. Our topic is 100 everyday English phrases you can use in daily life. 100 phrases. Can you imagine how many situations you'll be ready for after this episode?
Exactly. Now, why are we talking about phrases instead of just single words? Well, learning whole phrases helps you speak more naturally. It gives you ready-made sentences that you can use instantly. Instead of building each sentence word by word in your head, you'll already have the structure ready to go. That makes conversations smoother, faster, and much more confident.
And there's more. When you learn phrases, you also learn the context of how they're used. This helps you avoid those awkward moments when you use a word correctly but in the wrong situation. We've all been there, haven't we?
Oh yes, I've had my share of awkward moments. I remember once I used a phrase in the wrong place and the person just looked at me, confused. That's when I realized, context is everything.
So true. Let's give our listeners a quick taste of what's coming. For example, how's it going? This is such a common way to greet someone informally, instead of the usual, how are you? Logically, you can say, how's it going? And it feels warmer, more friendly.
And here's another one. I'm just chilling. This is perfect when you're relaxing. Maybe you're reading a book or watching TV, or just sitting with a cup of tea. It's a casual way to say you're not doing anything stressful.
These are just two of the 100 phrases we'll be exploring today, each with a clear explanation and real-life examples. And we'll make sure you not only understand the meaning, but also feel comfortable using them.
That's right. So before we start, here's my advice. As you listen, try to repeat the phrases out loud. Don't worry if your pronunciation isn't perfect yet. The goal is to get comfortable forming the sounds and rhythms of English.
Yes, speak along with us. Practice in real time. Imagine you're having the conversation with us. This is how you turn passive listening into active learning.
Exactly. And one more thing. Keep an open mind. You might already know some of these phrases, but hearing them in new contexts can make them more natural in your own speech.
So, Chris, shall we dive right into our first set of phrases?
Absolutely. Let's get started and make this learning journey both fun and unforgettable.
All right, Alexander, welcome to the discussion part. Today we're going to explore our first three groups of everyday English phrases. Each one is super practical and easy to use. Are you ready?
Oh, I was born ready. I even had a big breakfast, so I have energy for all 100 phrases. Let's go.
Great. Let's start with Group 1, greetings and starting conversations. The first one is, how's it going? It's an informal way to say, how are you? And you usually use it with friends, family, or coworkers you know well.
Exactly. And it's much more relaxed than, how do you do? Imagine you see your friend at the cafe, you can say, hey, how's it going? And they might answer pretty good, just enjoying my coffee. It's friendly and easy.
Yes, the next one is, what's up? This is another casual greeting. It literally means, what is happening? Swing, but in daily life, it's just a way to say hello.
True, and here's the fun part. If someone says «What's up?» Зрение. Вы не должны фактически сообщать им обо всем, что вы делаете. You can just answer, not much. How about you? Unless, of course, you want to shock them with your life story. Like, well, my cat learned how to open the fridge today.
That would definitely surprise them. And the last phrase in this group is, long time no see. You use it when you meet someone you haven't seen in a while. It's warm and friendly.
Right? For example, if you run into your old classmate at the supermarket, you can say, hey, long time no see. And if you're me, you might add, I thought you moved to another planet, just to make them laugh.
Moving on to Group 2, talking about activities or plans. The first one here is I'm just chilling. It means you're relaxing, maybe watching TV, reading, or doing nothing special.
My favorite phrase. I use it all the time. If someone asks me what I'm doing on a Saturday afternoon, I say I'm just chilling. But in reality, I'm probably eating snacks and pretending to watch a documentary while actually scrolling through my phone.
That still counts as chilling. Next is grab a bite. This means to eat something quickly, usually a small meal or snack.
Yes, and it's perfect for when you're hungry, but in a rush. For example, hey, want to grab a bite before the movie? My advice, don't use it if you plan to eat a huge 5-course dinner. People might expect something quick, not a feast.
Very true. The third one in this group is run errands. It means to do small tasks outside your home, like going to the bank, the post office, or the grocery store.
I actually like this one. It sounds productive. If someone asks me what I'm doing today, I can say I need to run some errands. And it makes me sound busy, even if my main errand is buying ice cream.
Finally, for this group, hang out. This means to spend time casually with someone. No big plans.
A classic. If I say, let's hang out this weekend, it could mean anything from going to the park to just sitting on the couch watching old movies. And sometimes, hanging out with friends means doing absolutely nothing and loving it.
That brings us to group 3, ending or taking a break. The first phrase is call it a day. It means to stop doing something, usually work, because you've done enough.
Perfect for lazy people like me. Imagine working for 2 hours, then saying, let's call it a day. Of course, your boss might not agree, so use it carefully.
Good point. The next one is let's wrap it up. Similar to call it a day, but you can use it in meetings or when finishing a project.
Yes, like, all right, team, let's wrap it up and go home. I like this phrase because it feels decisive, like you're in charge, even if you're just ending a conversation about which pizza topping to choose.
And our last phrase in this group is take a break. Simple but useful. It means to pause what you're doing and rest for a while.
This one I use daily, especially when cleaning. I start folding laundry, then tell myself, time to take a break. After just 5 minutes, rest is important. Right, Emily?
Absolutely. Rest keeps us fresh and focused. So, Alexander, we've covered 3 big groups already.
Yes, and I have to say, we're only 1/3 through, and I already want to grab a bite. Maybe a big sandwich or 2.
That's a perfect example of using one of our phrases in real life. But before you run off to eat, let's move to the next part of our show. A very special conversation segment you won't want to miss.
Thanks, Emily. And now, I'd like to bring in someone who has a really interesting story to share about learning English phrases. Mark, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you, Chris. It's great to be here. I have to admit, I'm a little nervous. Telling stories isn't something I do every day.
Don't worry, Mark. Just imagine we're chatting over coffee. Speaking of coffee, I think your story actually starts with one, doesn't it?
It does, yes. So, my first trip to London was about 5 years ago. I was excited, but my English was, let's say, very basic. I knew a few polite phrases like thank you, excuse me, and good morning. That was about it.
And then you found yourself in a cafe, right?
Exactly. I walked into this small cafe near my hotel. It smelled amazing, fresh pastries, strong coffee, and the place was buzzing with chatter. I felt a little out of place, but I queued up anyway. When it was my turn, the barista smiled and said, "What can I get for you?" My mind went completely blank. I knew I wanted a coffee, but I couldn't think of anything beyond coffee. Please.
That must have felt awkward.
Oh, it did. I smiled to hide my embarrassment. The barista gave me the coffee, but I walked away thinking, there has to be a better way to say that.
You know, Mark, you could have just said, can I grab a coffee? It sounds cooler, and it's one of our phrases today.
Yes, Alexander, I know that now. But back then, I didn't have those phrases ready in my head. That moment made me realize that how powerful it would be to have a bank of ready-to-use expressions.
And that's when you started your phrase notebook, isn't it?
Yes. That evening, I bought a small notebook. I decided I would learn 5 new phrases every day, not just the words, but also the situations where they fit. I wrote them down with simple examples. For instance, I added, "Can I grab a coffee?" with a note, "Use in cafe" instead of just "coffee, please."
That's a solid method, and it makes you think about context, not just translation.
Exactly. I carried that notebook everywhere, on the bus, in restaurants, even while waiting in line. Whenever I had a free minute, I'd review a few phrases, and the next day, I'd try them out. Sometimes I use them perfectly, other times, not so much.
Can you give us an example of when it didn't go so smoothly?
Well, one time I learned the phrase, "I'm just browsing." You use it in shops to say you're looking, but not ready to buy. I tried it in a small market stall, but the seller didn't quite get it and handed me a basket anyway. I laughed it off, but it stuck in my memory.
I've had moments like that too. In fact, let me share one. I once used the idiom, "It's raining cats and dogs" during a picnic in the park. I thought I was being funny. The weather was getting cloudy, but there was no rain yet. I announced to my friends, "Better pack up, it's raining cats and dogs." Everyone stared at me, then burst out laughing. They explained, "Alexander, that phrase means it's raining heavily right now, not later."
That must have been a memorable lesson.
Oh, it was. I never forgot the correct meaning after that. It taught me something important. Using phrases in real situations, even if you get them wrong, makes them stick in your mind far better than just reading them.
I completely agree. When you make a little mistake, it feels embarrassing in the moment, but it's actually a gift. That emotion, whether it's laughter or awkwardness, helps you remember.
That's such a great point. Language learning is as much about the experience as it is about the study.
Yes, and over time, my notebook filled with not just phrases, but also little stories of when I used them. Keep in touch after meeting a fellow traveler at the airport. Grab a bite before a museum tour. Long time no see with a friend I hadn't met in years. These moments were the real lessons.
And that's what makes your English sound natural. Not just knowing the phrase, but linking it to a living memory.
Exactly. And now, years later, I still keep a version of that notebook. It's digital now, and I keep adding to it.
I think that's inspiring for our listeners. You started with a couple of polite phrases, and now you have a collection that helps you speak confidently in so many situations.
And Mark, next time you go into that cafe, I expect you to impress the barista. In fact, I'll teach you 3 idioms that will definitely make you sound like a regular customer.
I'm curious. Which ones?
First, on the house, it means free of charge. Maybe if they like you, they'll say your coffee is on the house. Second, perk up perfect for talking about how coffee makes you feel more awake. This coffee really perked me up. And third, spill the beans not about coffee beans. It means to reveal a secret. You could joke with the barista. "Go on, spill the beans. What's in this amazing blend?"
Those are great. I'll write them down right now. Old habits die hard.
I think our listeners will agree. Both of your stories show that real-life use is the key to making phrases part of your active vocabulary.
Definitely. And to anyone listening, don't be afraid to try a phrase just because you're not 100% sure. Use it, learn from the reaction, and keep going.
Yes. And if you make someone laugh in the process, even better. You've made their day and learned something new.
Well said. All right, let's take this energy and move into our next section. We have more phrases coming up, and we'll keep building your toolkit for everyday conversations. Mark, are you ready?
Absolutely. Let's go for it.
Great. We'll start with Group 4, talking about feelings or condition. The first phrase is, "I'm beat." This is an informal way to say you're very tired, maybe after a long day at work or an intense workout. For example, "I've been moving boxes all afternoon. I'm beat."
Yes, it's short and powerful. I remember the first time I heard someone say this. I thought they were talking about music beats. But in context, it makes perfect sense. If you're really exhausted, I'm beat says it all.
Exactly. The next one is under the weather. This means you're not feeling well. Maybe you have a slight cold or just feel a bit sick. You could say, I'm going to stay home today because I'm feeling under the weather.
I like this one because it's gentle. You're not giving too many details, but people understand you're unwell. It's polite and it works in both casual and more formal situations.
And finally, in this group, running on fumes. It's a colorful way to say you're running out of energy. You're so tired that you're just pushing yourself to keep going. For instance, I stayed up late finishing my report, and now I'm running on fumes at work.
This one paints a vivid picture. I imagine a car almost out of gas struggling to move forward. It's perfect for those days when you've pushed past your limits but still need to get things done.
Well said. Now let's move to Group 5. Politeness and encouragement. First, keep in touch. It's a way to say, let's stay connected. When you might not see someone often. Example, it's been great working with you. Let's keep in touch. I find this phrase warm. It leaves the door open for future contact without pressure. I've used it with colleagues when finishing a project, and it really helps maintain relationships. Next is take it easy. It can mean relax or don't overwork yourself. Example, you've been studying for hours. Take it easy and get some rest.
I like how versatile this one is. It can be friendly advice or even a casual way to say goodbye. See you later, take it easy.
The third phrase here is hang in there. It's used to encourage someone to keep going despite difficulties. For example, I know this project is challenging, but hang in there. You're doing great.
Yes, it's like telling someone, don't give up. I've received this phrase from friends during hard times, and it's surprisingly uplifting for such a short sentence.
And the last in this group, it's not a big deal. This is a reassuring phrase. It means don't worry about it, or it's not serious. For instance, I'm sorry I spilled some water. It's not a big deal.
This one is great for diffusing tension. When someone makes a small mistake, saying it's not a big deal helps them relax and move on.
Exactly. So we've covered so many phrases today. Shall we test our listeners a bit?
I think that's a great idea. Let's see how much they have picked up.
All right, everyone, it's quiz time. And to make it more fun, Alexander is joining me for this round. Ready, Alexander?
Always ready, especially if I get to guess first. Let's go.
Perfect. I'll give you a meaning, and you try to guess the phrase. First one, to start a conversation and make people feel comfortable.
Oh, that's easy. Break the ice. Example, I told a funny story to break the ice at the new job.
Correct. Next, short, polite conversation about simple topics.
That's small talk. Example, we made small talk about the weather while waiting for the bus.
Right again. Now, agreeing or understanding the same thing.
That's on the same page. Example, let's meet tomorrow to make sure we're on the same page about the project.
Great. Your turn to give me an example so I can guess the phrase.
Okay, let's phone before we go to check if the restaurant is open. Example, we should call ahead to book a table for dinner.
That's call ahead. Easy one.
Nice. Next, I can't make it to lunch today. Can I postpone to next week? Example, sorry, can I take a rain check on our lunch?
That's rain check, and I've used that more times than I can count.
All right, last one from me. Let's meet for coffee and talk about what's been happening in our lives. Example, I want to catch up with my old school friends this weekend.
Definitely catch up. Love that phrase. Back to me asking you. Finish something.
That's wrap it up. Example, let's wrap it up so we can leave before the traffic gets bad.
Correct. Be delayed.
Run late. Example, I'm running late for the meeting. Please start without me.
Last one. Use an opportunity well.
That's make the most of it. Example, It's sunny today, so let's make the most of it and go to the park.
Yes, you've done well. Listeners, how many did you get right? Even if you missed a few, review them and try using them in your conversations this week.
And remember, learning is not about perfection. It's about progress. So keep practicing, and soon these phrases will be part of your everyday English.
Yes, you've done well. Listeners, how many did you get right? Even if you missed a few, review them and try using them in your conversations this week.
And remember, learning is not about perfection. It's about progress. So keep practicing, and soon these phrases will be part of your everyday English. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. The phrases we explored are not just words. They're tools that can make your conversation smoother, more confident, and more fun.
That's right. The best way to make these phrases your own is to repeat them, practice them daily, and try them in real-life situations. Use them with your friends, your coworkers, or even when you're talking to yourself at home. The more you use them, the more natural they'll feel.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, why not share it with a friend who's also learning English? You can learn together and keep each other motivated.
Don't forget to subscribe to Learn English with Joy so you won't miss any of our future lessons.
And remember, learning English is a piece of cake if you eat it every day.
I love that. See you next time, everyone, and keep learning with joy.